and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tenicka. In case you are new here, my channel focuses on fashion, travel, and beauty, and yapping. Today's video, I am yapping, all right? I need to be putting on a lip, darling. I need to let go of the... Oh! I done put all this on my face, the whiteness. Oh, the face was getting really cute. I did some like blush and everything. I need to get this white powder off my face. But today I want to just come yap really quick because I'm like slightly annoyed and I don't know why. I don't know what it is and why I should not be annoyed, but I am. Let me just say this. I said a year ago today, literally a year ago, I said the reason why, the secret to me enjoying motherhood was money. It's money, honey. That's what I said. It's money. That's what it is. At the root of it, it is money. Systemic, institutional, and individual money. I got really lucky. I worked hard. I prayed hard. I got blessed. I had a great partner. Things really lined up in my favor. I made a host of decisions that worked out for me. And that has allowed me to really enjoy my motherhood journey, even to this day. Do you understand? But my issue is, my God, today, the girls want to get in my comments on TikTok and they want to argue because the wives need to decenter men. Yes. The girls are saying, well, it's a husband and money. It is a great dad and money. It is my husband. My husband has been there for me. And girl, every second of the day, y'all have to bring in the fact that you're married, girl, that you have a husband. We get it. We understand. Salute you. Thank you. We understand. This is girls. This is the girls, the gays, and the days. We're chatting amongst us girls what we can control. To a certain extent in capitalism, we can't control everything, obviously. You can't control anything. You can't control how much money you're going to make in this life. You can't control what that man is going to do, but you can, some of these things are mitigating circumstances. You can make some decisions that put you in a better decision. And for a few people, it doesn't matter what you do, what God has for you, what the devil has for you may be for you, and you may get unlucky in life. But for a number of us, we just make a couple of really good decisions consistently, and we can make sure that we have the best experience that we can have. And this one lady was like, well, you can't control your husband and you can't control the money. You can't control either one. Of course you can't control anything, especially under capitalism and patriarchy and misogyny. Hello. Of course you cannot. Nobody is saying that you just have total control. But I am saying that you can control that money more than you can control that man. You can. And I know you girls, my issue is so many wives who fundamentally believe that they are better decision makers than women who are single, especially women who are single moms. We have to talk about it, guys. We have to talk about it. I'm not saying the conversation that I sparked is an example of that. I'm just using that because it put something in me. It just reminded me that we can have a conversation as women and talk about women's issues. Motherhood is a woman's issue. Not every woman will be a mother. Not every woman wants to be a mother. Not every woman who's not a mother doesn't want to be a mother. There's a myriad of ways to see this, but at the end of the day, motherhood is also a part of the larger conversation around womanhood, all right? And personhood in general, and humanity in general, right? And we should be able to have these conversations to talk about something that is so patriarchal. Motherhood is so patriarchal. It is so challenging. There is no blueprint. There is no book on how to do it. There is very few people even willing to be open and honest about it. There are women who want to be mothers, get into motherhood, and they're literally shell-shocked. They are shell-shocked, right? There are people who believe that if they go to college, graduate, find their boo, get married, then the motherhood journey will be great. Let me tell y'all something. The number of women who are married and in a homeless couple, they're a homeless couple. They're in Section 8 with their husband. They have a man and they're having the kids and they have to have the job and they have to cook and clean and do all these things. There are women stuck in the cycle of life with their husbands. So it's just like all this one-upism, this idea that because you have a husband, your life is going to somehow be more enjoyable than the next woman. Yes, it takes a village to raise a kid. It takes multiple people to raise a kid. Listen, I'm just telling you what worked out for me. Okay? My husband played a crucial role in my child's development. He is the primary parent. He has allowed motherhood to be good for me and great for me. That is not a situation that I can replicate and talk to the next woman about. It's no shade. I know y'all think y'all got the recipe. You know, you girls get married and then 6 months later, y'all are giving ebooks and courses and y'all got to do and telling people how to do this and how to do that. And that's your business. That's not our business. You can't replicate that. I know y'all think that y'all have the recipe and the femininity and the perfume and the mannerisms and the nails and the how to get a man. And you think somehow you can sell that to us? And somehow that's going to land a 6-figure, 7-figure man who's over 6 feet and loves the Lord and has a connecting beard and beautiful dark skin and all of this and all of that. I know y'all think that. But that's not the reality. Do you understand? That would be an easy sell. Do you know how easy it would be? Do you know how many qualified, beautiful, incredible, educated, amazing women there are out here who are single, who are looking for that specimen of a man and a human? If you had the cheat code, honey, you would be a zillionaire. I promise you, you will be a zillionaire. But I think what happens is, people are so willing to gain social capital from their love. They're willing to gain social capital. They're willing to be manipulative on behalf of, their ability to be chosen. It feels like a prize. I am chosen. My waist is smaller than all the girls. My butt is bigger than all the girls. My face is... It's like, girl, calm down, girl. Calm down. You do not have to then go and tell the other women who are single women. Do you know how many single mothers were married? Because that's y'all barometer. So y'all know we have to follow the respectability politics. Many of them were married. Just because you have a cousin who chose a deadbeat daddy 6 times over and 7 times over, and society has convinced you that you're a better woman than that woman, doesn't mean that you have the cheat code for all the ways that single motherhood is disastrous and terrible. And right, like, single motherhood is challenging because we live in a capitalist patriarchal society that doesn't respect motherhood, that doesn't pay women, whether they're mothers or not. They don't pay women well. We don't offer adequate health care. We don't offer adequate maternity leave. We don't offer PTO that is consummate with what, happens in people's lives in reality, them needing a break, them needing to go on medical leave. We don't offer decent working hours for working people, middle class folks. We don't offer a gateway into the middle class that's more realistic and more in line with where we are in 2025. Can I preach the way I want to preach? That's why single motherhood is challenging, because raising one child as one person is challenging. That's why single fatherhood is challenging. Raising 2 kids or 3 kids as one person is challenging. That's why it's challenging. Having a mother who is whole and is separated from a man that has been abusive to her, that has been financially manipulative to her, that has coerced her, that has been mean to her, rude to her, that has disrespected her in front of her child, that has done all these things, that has not financially contributed to her intellectually, mentally, emotionally, whatever. We salute her for being single. Can we turn this on its head? Can we say that you are better off being a single mother than you are staying in a relationship just to get online and say, I have a man, I'm married? It takes two. Yeah, guys, you're not saying anything novel by saying the husband is who is a quality man, because some of y'all men ain't quality. Some of y'all just happy to have a piece of a man. Some of y'all men ain't quality. Some of y'all men ain't quality. But having a quality man who's gone through therapy, who is emotionally sound, who is actively trying to undo patriarchy and misogyny, that is invested in all the ways their child may turn out, queer, gay, trans, feminine, not a doctor, maybe a doctor, all the ways their child decides to be in the world, okay? Not just really good to toddlers who are generally, lovely people. I shouldn't say toddlers. I should say 7 or 8 year olds. Toddlers are a little crazy, right? But like the full duration of parenting, especially when they're under 18, right? Yes, everyone deserves a male figure, a masculine energy in their home that allows them to learn and to grow and to be sound and to be amazing and to be great. The extra hands, the extra money, everything. I'm not if y'all get in my comments and say that, I'm blocking you. Because that is a given. People understand and know that. But what we need to continue to have a conversation around is not shaming women who choose to actively separate themselves from the toxicity of men who decide they no longer want to be a husband. That decide they no longer want to be a dad. That decide they no longer want to be sound, amazing, incredible men. And they walk away. What can she do then? The baby already here. So we're just going to play one-upism? And they just need to go away like in the Gilded Age? They need to just go to Newport and disappear and live in the mansion? No. We welcome you into society. You made a tough decision in a world that tells you that it is not okay, it is not acceptable for women, college-educated women, successful women to be separate from a man. It is okay, girl, especially when you have a child. The only way to not be a single mother is to not be a mother. Y'all think that your decision-making skills is so much better than single mothers, and that is what is going to allow you to not be a single mother. And I'm here to tell you, some of the best men have turned into the worst men and have taken down some of the baddest. Do you hear me? They have taken down, tackled to the ground. Some of the absolute baddest have bamboozled, have scammed, have married then cheated on. So you just gonna stay in a marriage because a man cheats on you? 50% of marriages end in divorce. Y'all been married for 18 months and you online bragging about how your man, girl, let me put this lip on because y'all are crazy. There is no world. Like, are y'all okay? Are you really okay? And I really believe that some of this energy, I'm not saying the sentiment, because I got to remind people because people are very, very slow. The sentiment is correct. The statement is correct. It's the energy. It's the energy and the insistence on saying, it's my husband, it's my husband, it's my man, 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 my man. Do you take any credit for being the mother? For pushing the child out? Do you take any credit for going to school yourself? For working hard yourself? For getting and gaining your own coins? Do you take any credit? My God. Is it all the man? Girl, I'm finna dry my stuff out yelling. Girl, it's just irritating. It's just weird. I'm like, girl. And a partner, and you know what? Some single women internalize this too. They're like, I want a daddy for my, child, and because society has made us believe that somehow we are just like grossly inadequate. That we are just somehow grossly inadequate. Where is the shame for the men who refuse to be high quality fathers? Where is the shame? Where is the shame for men who refuse to do what they have to do economically, financially, mentally, go get therapy, reduce their childhood trauma? Like, where is the fire? Where are the podcasts telling men that they should be ashamed for not actively being involved in their child's life? For being, for engaging in infidelity, for trying to take down a good woman, for even going so far as to marrying that woman, knowing full well that they are incapable of loving that woman in any way, shape, or form. They don't have the love for themselves. Where is the shame in that? I see women who are like, it didn't work out for me and him, but he's a great father. How? How? How is he a great father when he was knocking you upside the head? How is that a great father? Well, he do for his kids. Yeah, but the bar is in hell. That's why. That's why. Because the bar is in hell. The bar is in hell. That's why you are so invested in preserving this man's name. Because he's the father of your, of your kids. But yet he was knocking you upside of your head, stealing your last $30. Like, no. We need to decenter men. Even those of us who love men, those of us who are proximate to men, those of us who are married to men, in relationship with men, every conversation amongst women does not have to then go back to a man. Every conversation around motherhood does not always have to link to fatherhood. It really doesn't. I know I'm saying something that sounds counterintuitive to y'all, especially if you're a traditionalist. Okay, I totally understand. I'm not trying to break up the black family. You know how you girls get. I'm not trying to... Whoa. But guys, like, we are capable of saying that for a lot of women, having a financial safety net has really changed the trajectory of our lives. Having our own ability to create the resources for ourselves, to be financially sound, to be able to have conversations in the home as a financial equal is really important. Owning your own economic decisions for you and your child. Do you know how freeing and liberating it is to be in a relationship because you want to be there, not because you need to be there? Do you know how liberating it is to be like, oh, this man is getting on my nerves, I can kick him out, and you don't have to worry about your rent payment or your mortgage payment. You don't have to worry about your light bill. You don't have to worry about anything because you have the coins. Do you know how liberating it is to be able to say to your child, listen, when they come of age, I pay for all of that. That person didn't contribute anything to your life financially. Do you know how important it is to be able to take your child on a vacation when you want to take your child on a vacation? It is really important. And it is something that we can control more. I'm not saying it's 300,000 black women right now who have been laid off in the labor force. My God, today. So I am not saying that we are in complete control. We are not. But in so many ways, we are better off than our foremothers. And we do have some ability to control our reproductive health, our ability to have kids. We can control that, right? If we're struggling with one, in many states, we have the ability to say we don't want to then add another one. Okay? We have the ability to say that in many states, not all states. We also have the ability in more than our foremothers. Not saying that we have arrived collectively, not saying that we have made it collectively, not saying that we are so financially above the rest that we can just like write our Cinderella story as black women. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that we have more agency than we think, and we don't have to give all of our agency over to the other parent, to the man. Especially if it is debilitating, if it is going to cause us stress and problems because we are so married to this idea that our child needs a father in the home that we are suffering. So many girls and young women grow up believing that they have to fall on the sword of motherhood, and that when they are married, they are one and done. There's nobody else. They're never getting married again. Yada. Girl, you holding up your second husband. Your second husband might got a yacht. You don't know. Girl, you don't know. You don't know. A lot of times what is on the horizon is greater than what you already have if you have faith. You have to have faith. And we have to stop this narrative that you cannot be a quality mother if you do not have a father in the home. Because that's not going to be the case for so many women. And that's not because of their own decision making and their own doing. And as women who are partnered and women who are not partnered and women who may desire to never be partnered, specifically with a man, right? We have to be able to support all women in all the ways they show up, whether they want to be mothers or not, in all the ways they become mothers. It is disingenuous to have this conversation after somebody is already a mother. Well, it could never be me. That's mean and nasty. It's already them. It is already your sister. It is already your cousin. It's already her. So it is best for us to support her and to tell her ways that she can enhance her experience. A lot of times, we don't have a village. A lot of times, we don't want to live in our hometown next to our toxic relatives. People are like, oh, it takes a village. I'm so happy I had a village. We have to begin to have these conversations that motherhood can also involve friends. Being a sound mother can also involve hiring help. We need to destigmatize nannies. Okay, listen, please. Ain't nobody gonna convince me there's something wrong with having a nanny. We need to destigmatize having night nurses and, after school care and all these things. This is important. You are a human. As a mother, you don't just die when you become a mother. You're still a person. You still deserve joy. You still deserve pleasantries. You still deserve self-care. And I think that's really, really important. And if you know a mother, specifically a single mother, send her this. Yeah, send my sister this. Send her this. Because I'm tired of y'all getting online, throwing up in people's faces that you have a man. Okay, girl. Okay, girl. I've been in the same relationship my entire adult life. Maybe a couple of months. Maybe like 18 and 7 months. Okay, and that doesn't make me a better woman. That doesn't that doesn't mean that I'm having a fundamentally, astronomically better experience. Do you know how many women dropped that man and saved money? Do you know how many women are better off because they don't have a husband and they don't have a man in the home stressing them out? I get it, guys. I get it. There are also women who are married, who are having a great experience with their husband, and he's an incredible father. But that is not a recipe that we can replicate. And we need to stop giving out this message like it is true universally. It is not. It is a nice to have. In some instances, it may be ideal to have a lovely, amazing, incredible father to take the load off for so many women. But we have to stop using husbands as a weapon. Yeah. That's my closet confessions for the day. If you like these kind of videos, girl, I done lost a nail. I done lost the press on. Well, lucky I have some glue. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.